And you've talked about this yourself, actually, that you walk into a room and then it fills with bad guys, clear it out, and then move to the next room.
Right, for sure, and that was something that we thought was, you know, a bit of a shortcoming in the first game. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much more in this game. We didn't really have to go that path anymore. We could just sort of iterate on the next crazy version of a setup that we could think of involving a particular variety of enemies. And of course, we have far greater variety of enemies in Uncharted 2 than Uncharted Drake's Fortune has. But now with the addition of like we have a triple tiered class system of enemies right now. We have light, medium and heavy guys who, you know, come at you with different levels of aggressiveness and have different levels of armor. And then we have these heavy machine gun guys that provide a whole other level of challenge. Yeah, it's pretty staggering when I think about the, you know, the difference in the combat.
I mean, in your mind, how big is the difference from Uncharted 1 going to be to Uncharted 2 for the fans? I mean, I'm somebody who's lucky enough to get to see it all the time, and I remember distinctly coming upon that U-boat in the first game and being like, this looks so good. And now you go and you play and you're on top of this hotel in Nepal and you can see mountaintops and birds and everything below you. Well,
it is interesting looking back at the game, and I still think it's a beautiful game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
No, it sucks.
There's, you know, sometimes I think there's, yeah, just, it's night and day. It was kind of hard to tell from back then.
Yeah,
you know, there are one or two things about it that we do think actually suck when we look back, but
well, what are they?
I won't say which.
Oh, come on. Man.
Well, I mean, you know, so, just because we've come so far, like graphically in terms of shaders, you know, like lighting maps. We're doing this thing now called screen space ambient occlusion, which basically is to do with the little shadows that you get when two objects touch one another. And when we flipped the switch to turn that stuff on in Uncharted 2, there were kind of, you know, you could just hear the jaws hitting the floor around the studio because it lends this look of like depth and solidity to the world.
Of course, this is one of like the best scenes for me. I remember this is like one of the first ones you guys showed too, back when Elena had brown hair too.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
But and now it's funny we bring up the looks of the characters too. I mean, they look so much better now, right?
They do. I mean, they look good here, but in Uncharted 2, the lengths that our animators and modelers have gone to make them look even more expressive, I think, is pretty amazing. I mean, there's so much detail now, especially in what we were already focusing on here in terms of eyes and mouths, but we've really just pushed that beyond anything that we see in this game. And, yeah, and of course, all of that great character detail carries over into the different characters that you can play in the multiplayer part of the game.
Yeah, it's a big thing, right? It's not just single player anymore.
Right, I mean, it's a huge thing for us, yeah. We are so excited to see the kind of reception that our multiplayer gets. All I know is that it's mainly what I've been doing in the last week in the office since we were kind of wrapping up the last strands of the game. It's a lot of fun, and I think people are going to be really pleasantly surprised by how well the basic move set from Uncharted, which was basically what we took. We took everything that Nate could do in terms of all of his like traversal combat abilities to create probably I guess the first multiplayer online game where you can clamber around environments and like pull guys off ledges and have really intense kind of cover-based shooting as well. The matches are very like high-paced, they're very high tension, and just a ton of fun. So yeah, I can't wait to see what people think of it. Of course, we've got our multiplayer demo coming out this month, and so that's going to be great.
Even though people are running out of time, and there are skins from the first game in this one, right? In terms of multiplayer, and then a lot of characters are carrying over.
Yeah, I think we're giving away some skins from the first game as like special unlocks, and then of course, as we announced a little while ago, yeah, some of the characters from the first Uncharted are back. Elena Fisher and Victor Sullivan. Yeah, good old Sully.
Yeah. But you wouldn't you wouldn't have to have played the first one to get everything out of Uncharted 2, correct?
No, for sure. I mean, I think that people who have played Uncharted Drake's Fortune will be happy in the way that the story continues to unfold. But we were very careful from the beginning of planning the story that you wouldn't need to know anything about the first game to really enjoy it and to really learn all that you needed to know about Drake and about his relationships to the other characters to have a really good time.
Even though y'all should play it. Greatest hit.
For sure.
Fun platinum trophy. But what about fan appreciation, right? That plays into if I've played it before, right?
It does actually, yeah, yeah. In Uncharted 2, we have a store, an awesome store. You earn money in the game for winning medals and for finding treasures, actually. That's one of my favorite elements of the game, the treasure hunting part of it. And you can use that money to unlock things like the bonus features. We have a great set of kind of behind-the-scenes featurettes movies. And then there are all the kind of gameplay tweaks that we love to put in, different like rendering modes that we brought back from the first game. And then, yeah, different skins that you can unlock both for the single player and the multiplayer part of the game. And so we made sure that people who had played the first Uncharted, we would give them a little bit of extra cash. If you've just got a save game, an Uncharted save game on your hard drive, you'll get 20,000 Uncharted dollars, and if you've beaten the game, we'll give you a whopping 80,000, and that'll buy you quite a lot of cool stuff in the store.
Is Fat Suit Drake back?
Of course. Yes. What would Uncharted be without Donut Drake?
There you go.
And he hasn't laid off the donuts since the last game. Seriously.
Still a big dude.
Oh, Struth. You should see him.
Well, Richard, thank you so much for coming by today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Of course, Uncharted is in stores October 13th. Tell people to buy it.
Oh, buy it. Buy it. It's awesome.
Yeah. And keep watching IGN.